Hi everyone, and thank you so much for watching my channel The Witty Turtle. My name is Anvesha and right now I'm a CMA finalist. So without wasting your much time, I am going to give you a brief introduction about this video. So today we will discuss some of the pro tips about your June 2024 examination, right? Your exams are only 6 days away, right? So right now you have to take care of certain things along with your revision, right? So what are those things? Today we will be discussing how you can make the optimum utilization of the 3 hours and 15 minutes time which you will be getting in the examination hall, and along with that some of the pro tips I'll be giving which you need to consider while writing your paper. And this video is going to be relevant for CMA Inter and CMA Final students. Foundation students can also watch this, but as they are having MCQ questions, so it is not of much use, right? So let's start with the video. So coming to the first point, which is your reading time of 15 minutes, right? So ये जो reading time आप लोगों को मिलेगा ना, you have to make the most of this. So what you can do in this, the first thing is that जैसे ही question paper आपको मिलेगा, you have to select what are the questions to be done. कौन से questions आपको करने हैं, that you need to identify, right? Then you are having MCQs, right? So whatever theory based MCQs will be there, you have to आइडेंटिफाई द आंसर्स ऑफ दैट. सिंपली क्वेश्चन पेपर में आप पेंसिल में मार्क कर सकते हो. मार्क का मतलब ये नहीं पूरा ABCD लिखोगे, बट येस यू कैन सिंपली पुट अ टिक मार्क ओवर देयर और सिंपली पुट अ पॉइंट ओवर देयर, डॉट ओवर देयर, राइट? देन आफ्टर दैट व्हाट यू कैन डू, यू कैन डिसाइड द ऑर्डर ऑफ आंसरिंग द क्वेश्चंस. कौन से ऑर्डर में आपको क्वेश्चंस को आंसर करना है, दैट यू कैन डिसाइड, राइट? देन द नेक्स्ट थिंग इज दैट after the 15 minutes get completed, then you can start attempting the questions, right? And while attempting the question, you have to start with that particular question which you know the best, right? Everybody will tell you कि जो सबसे अच्छा आता है, you have to go for that particular question first, right? So attempt the question which you know the best first, right? You have to do that. Then what is the next thing? Next thing is that question जितना भी आए ना, if you are having time, so try to attempt the entire paper, try to attempt the 100% paper. So in that what happens, the chance of getting correct answers that increases. So उसमें क्या होता है ना, आपके ज़्यादा मार्क्स आने के चांसेस भी बढ़ जाते हैं, right? So this is one thing. Then what you have next is that you have to write the answers according to the marks allocated. Now look at this particular example where ये एक क्वेश्चन है एंटरप्रेन्योरियल सेल्फ एफिकेसी, राइट? सो इसमें मैंने क्या लिखा है, ऊपर यहाँ पे मैंने लिखा है शॉर्ट नोट्स. सो अगर शॉर्ट नोट्स आएगा ना, सो आई विल बी राइटिंग द फर्स्ट 3 पॉइंट्स ओनली, राइट? द फर्स्ट 3 पॉइंट्स ओनली आई विल बी राइटिंग. बट if I am getting the same question for like a 10 marks question, so what all things I have to write? These entire 2 pages I have to write, right? So कम मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन है, so try to give precise answers, right? And if you're having a long question, then yes, you have to write the relevant points along with some क्या बोलते हैं उसको, थोड़ा बहुत उसके बारे में लिखना पड़ता है. And yeah, like that you can attempt the answer. And one more thing you need to take care of while answering is that you need to write to the point answer. दिस इज़ नॉट योर सेमिस्टर एग्जाम कि आप कुछ भी घुमा फिरा के यहाँ पे स्टोरी बनाओगे, बट येस यू हैव टू राइट टू द पॉइंट आंसर इन दोज क्वेश्चंस वेयर यू नो द एग्जैक्ट आंसर. जहाँ पे नहीं आता है उधर तो स्टोरी बनाना ही है, राइट? बट जहाँ पे आपको पता है आई नो द एग्जैक्ट आंसर, देन ट्राई टू गिव टू द पॉइंट प्रिसाइज आंसर्स. देन ट्राई टू कीप क्लीन हैंड राइटिंग, because what happens when the examiner is correcting the answer sheet, so it should be very much clear and it should be easier for the examiner to check your answer sheet, right? जितना easy होगा दिमाग उतना ही ठंडा रहेगा और वो अच्छे से आपको मार्क्स दे सकते हैं. Then another thing is that you have to underline the keywords, especially in papers like law or direct taxation or any theory short note. You have to underline the keywords because ये ultimately keywords का ही खेल है. Nobody is going to read your entire answer sheet, right? So keywords is very important. Yeah, so next is that you have to highlight the answers in every step. This is basically for the numerical questions. So what happens if a question is there of 16 marks and it has asked you 6 points to answer, right? So what happens? Point number 1, you have to write like this. First you need to write the given data which is given in the question. Then you have to write point number 1, and then question में जो भी पूछा होगा you need to give the heading of that. I'm saying these things because this adds in the beauty of the answer sheet, right? क्योंकि पढ़ाई तो सबने करी है, but the additional marks that you get, that comes from the beauty of your answer sheet, right? Now you need to give the heading of that. Then whatever is the solution, you need to do that. And lastly, you just need to write hence the answer is this, and whatever is asked there you need to write that and you need to underline that. यहाँ पे आप लोग देख सकते हो क्या लिखा है मैंने, ट्रांसफर प्राइस इज ₹4 एंड द प्रॉफिट इज nil, राइट? दिस इज क्रिस्टल क्लियर, किसी को ढूंढना नहीं पड़ेगा कि क्या है आंसर, राइट? देन इन द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ऑल्सो यू कैन सी मैंने आंसर को अंडरलाइन किया है. येस, यहाँ पे मैंने ये, क्योंकि मेरा नोटबुक है सो आई हैव यूज्ड 2 colored pens, but yes, of course in the examination you're not allowed to use more than 1 colors, so yes, stick to either black or blue, right? Then yeah, so in this question you can clearly see that there were 6 points, and in all the points you need to highlight the answers, right? The final answer. Then the next point is for group 3 and group 2 students. So CPM PERT questions whenever you're getting in operations management in group 2 and also in strategic cost management in group 3. So whenever you're getting CPM PERT questions or network diagram questions, question पढ़ने के बाद first you need to draw that in the rough page. Why am I saying that? Because बहुत बार क्या होता है ना, हम लोग कंफ्यूज होकर गलतियाँ कर देते हैं. जैसे इन दिस केस यू कैन सी in the first diagram I did a mistake, and then in the second diagram I corrected that. So to avoid this particular mess in the exam, you need to draw it in the rough page first, then you can do it in the answer sheet, like जहाँ पे आप proper answer लिख रहे हो, there you can do it, right? That was one thing. Then another thing is that there are a lot of students, and recently I saw a video on Gaurav Kabra sir's YouTube channel that in the MCQ section one student had not written the MCQs in the serial manner, right? So क्या हुआ था, जिन्होंने आंसर करेक्ट किया था, he simply checked the answer sheet like A, B, D, C, B, like that, and the student had not written everything in a serial manner. So what happened there, he got very less marks. मतलब कुछ he was supposed to get 16 or 17 and he got 8, right? So just to avoid that particular possibility, what you need to do, you need to maintain the serial number in bits of a question. What is the meaning of that? पहला एग्जाम्पल देखो, ये जो रेड में मैंने लिखा है, मैंने क्या किया है, फर्स्ट आई सॉल्व्ड पॉइंट नंबर 1 ऑफ क्वेश्चन नंबर 2, then question number 3 का point number 2, then question number 4 का point number 1, then again I am writing question number 2 का point number 3, like that. This is written in a very haphazard manner, right? But what do you need to do? एक question start हुआ, you started with one question, you complete all the points of that question, right? Then you can jump to another question. Question number 1, point 1, point 2, point 3. I wrote all the points. Then I came to question number 3. It is not necessary कि question 1 के बाद question 2 ही लिखना है. You can directly go to any other question. But when it comes to the bit questions or the points of a same question, there you need to write what? You need to maintain a serial number, right? Or we can say you need to write all the points of the same question together, right? Then what I have written? Question number 3 I started. Point number 1 I wrote, then point number 2, then point number 3. Then I started with question number 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I wrote all the 4 answers. Then question number 1 का point number 4 छूट गया था, ठीक है, जो मुझे beginning में नहीं याद आया, and somehow I missed that. So in that case what you can do, after completing everything, after completing all the questions, at the last you can write it there, right? So what happens, वो confusion नहीं होता है. And in this case you can write one note also question number 1 के end पे कि the question number the point number 4 has been written on this particular page number, right? That you can do just to avoid confusion and just to make sure that the examiner is checking all the answers which you have written, right? I hope this is clear. Then what is the next point? The next point says that whenever you are attempting any theory question or you're going for any theory paper like law or DT के कोई theory questions हो गए, so in that case you have to try to attempt all the questions, right? All the questions, because see, whatever question, whatever answers you know already, that you're gonna definitely write, but whatever questions you don't know, so in that case also अगर थोड़ा सा भी पता है, so try to write at least something, whatever you know about that. I don't know whether I should give this example or not, but yeah, I had done similar kind of thing in one of my exams where I knew nothing about that particular thing. बस 2-4 keywords याद थे and I wrote half a page on that, where I later on got to know that I got 3 out of 6, right? So yeah, so that's how it works. And also one more thing is that in theory questions you can either do it paragraph wise, 2-3 पैरा में आप लिखो, or you can write it point wise answers. I would say point wise answers are more preferable because that is very precise and very systematic, so it becomes easier for the examiner to check the answer sheet, right? Then one more thing is that if there is a 5 marks question and there is an answer where you know like 10 or maybe 12 points, right? So in that case for a 5 marks question you need to write 6 or 7 points or maybe max to max 8 points, right? 8 points will definitely do. उसके लिए बहुत ज़्यादा आप लिख दो और उधर कोई और बड़ा सा क्वेश्चन छूट जाए, so better than that you need to stick to the marks of the question and you need to write the answers accordingly, right? Now that was all about your theory questions. Now coming to the numericals and the case studies. So in that case, what is the first thing that you need to do? You need to read the question carefully. You need to read the question very very carefully. Then you have to note down all the given data in points, right? आपको वो point में लिखना है, question में जो paragraph में दिया है that you need to break down into points so that it becomes easier for you to find that particular data while solving the answer, right? You need to write everything in a very consolidated manner because that becomes easier for your brain to understand, right? Then what is the next thing that you have to do? You have to solve systematically. You need to solve the answer systematically to avoid confusion. For example, to find out a particular value, you need to do 2 steps before that. So first you complete those 2 steps, then you go to the final answer, right? ऐसे नहीं कि फाइनल आंसर लिख दिया फिर ये कर दो वो कर दो, नहीं. इट शुड बी इन अ वेरी सिस्टमैटिक मैनर. इट जैसे फ्लो चार्ट होता है ना, वैसे ही आपका आंसर शीट होना चाहिए. देन नेक्स्ट थिंग इज दैट वॉट एवर वर्किंग नोट्स आर देयर ना, दैट यू नीड टू राइट सेपरेटली. Either in the beginning of the question you can write all the working notes, or at the end of the final answer you can write all the working notes. And in case of direct taxation, indirect taxation, you need to write the provisions also. कोई पर्टिकुलर चीज़ आपने ऐसा इसका ट्रीटमेंट ऐसे क्यों हुआ है, फॉर दैट यू नीड टू राइट दैट इन द वर्किंग नोट्स और नोट्स सेक्शन, राइट? And lastly, whatever answer you are getting, for example here I got 1,29,000 as the answer, so उसको आंसर को लिख के you need to underline that and bracket में लिख दो कि ये आंसर है. So what happens, जो एग्जामिनर होते हैं वो एंड में देख लेते हैं कि हाँ चलो इसका एटलीस्ट फाइनल आंसर द स्टूडेंट हैज़ गॉट राइट. सो वो ईजी होता है, वो कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा तो वैल्यू ऐड करेगा ही. Now coming to the 9th point, which says if there is a question where you have one practical question and uske और में there is a theory question given to you, right? And in the beginning when you read the question you thought that yes, the practical question is something I can really solve, right? And you started with the practical question. Now you have completed 30% of the practical question, which you know that yes, it is 100% correct, right? From the entire question you have completed 30% of the question, which is correct according to you, and the rest 70% you are unable to solve or you don't know what is the next step that you need to do. So in that case what you can do, you have got 2 options. The first is that you can either switch to the theory, but only if you know the correct answer of that theory question. Only if you know the exact answer of that theory question, then only you can switch to the theory question, right? But if you don't know the theory, then don't cancel out the numerical question, and जो 30% आपने पहले किया है, leave the question at that 30%, right? Leave the question at that 30%. Now ये तो था कि अगर प्रैक्टिकल और थियरी और में आए तो क्या करना है. वी ऑल्सो गॉट टू नो कि थियरी क्वेश्चन कैसे करना है, हाउ टू डू द प्रैक्टिकल क्वेश्चंस, एंड व्हेन यू हैव गॉट थियरी और प्रैक्टिकल देन हाउ टू डू दिस, राइट. नाउ this was all about what should be your strategy during the exam, right? Now coming to the basic things which I think every teacher will tell you on YouTube, that you need to reach the examination center at least 30 minutes before the exam. Why am I saying that? Because हो सकता है आपका एग्ज़ाम सेंटर बहुत बड़ा है, and to reach your exam hall you need to walk a lot, या फिर वो बहुत अंदर है, उसमें बहुत टाइम जा रहा है. सो इन दैट केस व्हाट हैपन्स, यू माइट मिस दैट 15 minutes ऑफ रीडिंग टाइम, राइट, विच इज़ अगेन अ लॉस. So for that, at least for the first day, you need to reach the exam center at least 30 minutes before the exam. Next is your water bottle लेके जाना, because it is the month of June and the heat is at its peak, right? Then the next point is specifically for all the boys, please take more than one pen. एक से ज़्यादा पेन ले जाना, अपना स्केल, अपना पेंसिल ले जाना, जो भी चाहिए होगा एग्ज़ाम के लिए. बिकॉज इन माई लास्ट अटेम्प्ट ऑल्सो आई सॉ वन बॉय वॉज देयर एंड ही वॉज लाइक, आगे पीछे कोई ना कोई लड़की होगी जिससे मैं मांग लूँगा. नहीं, क्यों मांगना है, खुद अपना लेके जाओ, प्लीज़ लेके जाओ अपना मोर देन वन पेन, पेंसिल, अपना स्केल, जो भी है, जो भी चाहिए वो लेके जाओ अपना, राइट. एंड what are the documents that you need to take along with you? One is your admit card, right? And also your invigilator is supposed to sign your admit card every day, right? After every paper the invigilator is supposed to sign the admit card. So the first thing is that admit card. Then your ICMAI identity card, राइट. आइडेंटिटी कार्ड जिसमें आपका सब कुछ लिखा है, आपका एडमिशन के टाइम पे जो मिला था, दैट यू नीड टू टेक. अलॉन्ग विद दैट यू नीड टू टेक योर ID प्रूफ विच इज़ योर आधार कार्ड. दिस इज़ बेसिकली रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द फर्स्ट डे, बट फ्रॉम द सेकेंड डे ऑनवर्ड्स यू कैन टेक योर एडमिट कार्ड एंड ICMAI ID card only, right? So with that we have come to an end of this video, and if you really find this video helpful and insightful, then yes, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, share this video with all your CMA friends who are gonna attempt this June 2024 exam. And yes, along with that, if you're new to my channel then subscribe it, and do check out the playlist section because it has got a lot of useful content for all the CMA students, mostly for CMA inter students, right? So yeah, stay tuned and wish you all the very best for your exam.